Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself in absolute calm, alone with your thoughts. It is in these moments of solitude that our soul speaks to us most clearly. Have you ever felt this strange sensation? That day when suddenly the actions you used to commit without thinking become a source of deep unease? This is no coincidence. It may be the beginning of an extraordinary journey. The inner revelation. We often live on automatic pilot. Our mistakes, our hurtful words, our broken promises. All this accumulates silently. Then, one day, as if a veil is lifted, these same actions become unbearable to our conscience. This realization does not come about by chance. It is the first sign of special divine attention. When our Creator looks upon us, He begins by awakening our conscience. This feeling of regret, far from being a punishment, is in reality a precious gift, the opportunity for a spiritual rebirth. The weight on your heart is both painful and necessary. It is as if your soul were awakening from a long sleep. This moral pain testifies to a new sensitivity, to an awakened conscience that now rejects the spiritual mediocrity that you previously accepted. But why now? Why do these acts, which seemed trivial yesterday, seem so serious today? It is because a light has been turned on inside you, illuminating what had remained in the shadows until now. The transformation of sacred reading. The second sign appears in your relationship with the sacred texts. This book that you may have been reading out of habit or duty suddenly becomes an inexhaustible source of wisdom. Each verse seems to have been written especially for you, answering questions that you had not even asked yourself. It is as if the words come to life before your eyes. This fascinating phenomenon is not a simple intellectual coincidence, but an intimate dialogue that is established between you and the divine. The sacred words become a compass, a refuge, a source of comfort in difficult moments. You notice that you are drawn to these texts no longer out of obligation, but out of a deep need, like one is drawn to a fresh water spring after a long walk in the desert. Your understanding deepens, and even passages you have read 100 times reveal new meanings. This new relationship with the sacred texts transforms your worldview. You begin to see your life through the prism of these eternal teachings, finding answers to your daily problems, advice for your important decisions, and above all, peace for your restless heart. The call to excellence. Have you noticed this subtle change in your aspirations? This sudden desire to improve yourself, to become a better version of yourself? This is the third sign. A positive dissatisfaction takes hold of you. What was enough for you yesterday is no longer enough today. You aspire to more sincerity, more generosity, more patience. This aspiration is not motivated by pride or competition, but by an authentic desire to please your Creator. You become more aware of your words, your actions, and even your thoughts. You begin to ask yourself, does this action bring me closer to or further away from my Creator? This question becomes your criterion, your guideline. This transformation is not superficial. It touches the depths of your being, changing your instinctive reactions, your priorities, your dreams. This is not a temporary phase, but a new path in life that is opening up before you. A softened heart. The fourth sign is perhaps the most beautiful. Your heart softens. People who previously irritated you now arouse compassion and understanding in you. You develop a new sensitivity to the suffering of others. What is remarkable is that this tenderness is not a weakness. On the contrary, it becomes your strength. You discover that it takes more courage to forgive than to hold a grudge, more strength to understand than to judge. The little annoyances of everyday life no longer affect you as they used to. You develop an ability to stand back, to see beyond appearances, to seek the wisdom hidden behind each situation. Those around you notice this change. Without you even saying anything, they sense that something in you is different. Your presence becomes soothing, your advice sought after, your company appreciated. Trials as a gift. Paradoxically, when the divine turns its gaze upon you, the trials may intensify. This is the fifth sign, often the most difficult to recognize and accept. These difficulties are not punishments, but opportunities for growth. Like fire purifying gold, these trials burn away the superficial to reveal the essential. They teach you patience, perseverance, and, above all, unshakable trust in divine wisdom. What is fascinating is that even in the midst of these storms, you feel an inexplicable peace. This serenity in the midst of difficulties is the most eloquent proof that you are not alone, that you are guided, protected, loved. You learn to see each trial as a question posed by life, and your answer defines who you become. Instead of complaining, you look for the lesson. Instead of rebelling, you submit with dignity to what is greater than you. Connection in prayer. The sixth sign manifests itself in your relationship to prayer. What may have become a mechanical ritual is transformed into a special moment of intimate connection. When you prostrate yourself, the outside world fades away. You feel a closeness, a presence, a silent but profound dialogue. Your prayers are no longer recited words, but sincere conversations. You discover that prayer is not only an obligation, but a privilege, a romantic encounter between the soul and its creator. This new quality of prayer transforms your whole day. You emerge calmer, stronger, ready to face challenges with a newfound serenity. Prayer becomes your anchor in the storm, your compass in uncertainty, your refuge in adversity. Signs everywhere. The seventh sign is a new way of seeing the world. You begin to perceive divine signs everywhere, in a bird's flight, in a child's smile, in the beauty of a sunset. This new perception is not superstition, but an acute awareness of the divine presence in every aspect of creation. The world becomes an open book, full of messages for those who know how to read. This vision transforms your daily life into a constant spiritual adventure. Every encounter, every event, even the most trivial, can contain a lesson, guidance, or a reminder, an invitation to travel. If you recognize these signs in your life, know that you are at the dawn of an extraordinary journey. It is not a coincidence. It is not a fluke. It is a personal invitation to a profound transformation. Do not ignore these subtle calls. They are the whispers of an infinite wisdom that guides you towards your full potential. Embrace this transformation with gratitude and humility. This path is not always easy, but it leads to an inner peace that nothing else can offer. It is the path of authenticity, of fulfillment, of closeness to the divine. Remember that this divine attention is not a privilege reserved for a select few. It is offered to all those who sincerely seek to draw closer to their Creator. The important thing is not where you have been, but where you choose to go now. So, are you ready to answer this call? Are you ready to embark on this path of transformation? The divine hand is stretched out to you. It is up to you to grasp it.